Welcome back to Lead Between the Lines and the Power Line miniseries. So far, you've set your bottom line, stood firm on your front line, and made a bold leap to jump the line. But today, we're going even deeper. Today, it's all about drawing a line in the sand, a moment where you confront yourself and decide how you'll move forward from here. In Jump the Line, you made a commitment, a declaration to go beyond the safe, incremental changes, and start making quantum moves. But here's the thing. Big leaps don't mean anything if you can't stand firm in them. You'll need to decide what you will and won't tolerate in this next level. This episode is about drawing a line in the sand, setting new rules for yourself, and committing to a path of true self-mastery. I believe that it is one of the most crucial points in any transformation journey. You're not here to dance between the old and the new. You're here to draw a line and say, this is who I am and this is how I'm moving forward, no matter what. I've walked this path myself, and I know firsthand what it takes to abandon ego-driven achievements for something more substantial. I've spent years not just coaching, but embodying these principles so you can trust that I'm speaking from experience. This isn't theory. This is a blueprint that changed my life. And I'm here to challenge you to look at where you've been letting ego drive your decisions, where you've been wavering, and how you can choose prowess over ego and strength over comfort. Drawing a line in the sand means there's no turning back. It's a conscious commitment to rise above the superficial, to reject standards that no longer serve you, and to claim a new level of power. This line isn't just a moment. It's the threshold you cross where you decide that you're no longer willing to play by anyone else's rules, including your own old ones. Every one of us has moments where we've been driven more by ego than genuine prowess. And if we're not careful, ego will keep us clinging to the superficial, making us settle for less than what we're truly capable of. And I believe that to reach your fullest potential, you must choose prowess over ego every single time. This is where you draw the line in the sand. So let me give you a practical example. I see accomplished women chasing high status roles or accolades, thinking it will fill a void. I did the same thing, so no shade here. But once they reach that milestone, the satisfaction is fleeting because it was never about prowess. It was about proving something to others. So think about your own goals right now. Are they driven by your true power or by a desire to be seen as powerful? Ask yourself, where have you been making moves to satisfy your ego rather than developing your prowess? Have you taken on projects or goals just to feel significant or validated? Or maybe you've been holding on to old accomplishments to feel successful rather than pursuing new growth that pushes you. Drawing a line means getting brutally honest about where you're holding on to ego-driven motivations. Because ego is loud, but prowess is a quiet confidence. And true prowess doesn't need validation because it's grounded in your real capabilities, not just the image of them. Now, I spent a significant amount of my career curating a perception of how I wanted people to see me. And I laugh at that now because if you were to ask 10 people how they see you or perceive you, they'll give you 10 different answers, which means my curation was like a double illusion. It was the illusion I was painting for you, and it was delusional of me to think that it was effective. Regardless of my delusion, it did so much more damage than I ever knew. It wasn't until I was challenged to step up and embody each of the topics that we've covered in this series for myself that I understood truly what it means to lead, to take responsibility and own my power. And I've done every single one of the things I've been asking of you, and I cannot even begin to articulate the impact Prowess development has had on my life over the past several years. That fulfillment I chased up the corporate ladder is now deeply ingrained in me. The thrill of an impossible vision is now what drives me and what I'm committed to helping you create as well. So let's get right to confronting your own bullshit. This isn't just about leaving behind one career for another. It's about shifting your identity to become someone who doesn't need external validation to feel accomplished. I'm sharing this because I want you to understand that prowess doesn't look like hustle or grind. It looks like finding fulfillment in who you are, not just in what you do. Choosing prowess over ego means you can't afford to waffle. The line that you're drawing isn't a dotted line. It's a solid and it's unbreakable. Every time you entertain doubt or make exceptions, you weaken your resolve. This is the moment to draw a line that you're willing to stand on no matter what. Fully committing to your future self includes constant excavation. And this means getting in there, rooting out any beliefs or patterns that have kept you tied to a previous version of yourself. The old you may have played small, compromised, or sought approval, but your future self, she doesn't have time for that. She's here to leave behind the baggage and stand firm. A line in the sand isn't a casual decision. It's a defining moment. It says, from this point on, I'm all in on who I'm becoming. Don't settle for accolades that feed your ego but starve your potential. You're here to become something much bigger than an image of success. Your line in the sand is where you stop negotiating with your old self and start building something real. So I want to set the frame with Watskin's concept. In The Art of Learning, Josh Watkin, the author, talks about building triggers to perform under pressure. But here's the thing. You can't just wait for the world to test you. You have to invite those challenges, lean into them, and build your own triggers. This isn't about surviving challenges. It's about seeking them out so that when they do come, you're unfazed. Every time you feel triggered, that's a gift. It's an opportunity to see what still holds power over you and where you still need to grow. The more you can challenge yourself, the more you're training yourself to be unshakable. Because if you can trigger yourself, you're not waiting for the world to dictate when you need to step up. You're setting the stage for yourself. So challenge yourself so thoroughly that when the world throws something at you, you're already prepared. You've built the resilience on your terms. So here's a practical way to do this. Set challenges that make you uncomfortable. Volunteer for that high-stakes project, or start speaking up in situations where you'd normally stay silent. These are the micro triggers that you can use to build resilience before life forces you to. Choosing prowess over ego isn't just a one-time decision. It's a commitment to a high standard. This is about drawing a line that you're willing to stand on no matter what. When you set this line, you're saying, I am done with superficial goals and fleeting validation. I am here for something deeper. This commitment to prowess requires more than just words. It requires creating a set of rules that you live by. Rules that support your vision and ensure that you never waver. These rules become the framework that keeps you aligned with your goals, regardless of the external pressures or internal doubts. Think about it. Are the rules you're currently living by yours, or are they someone else's? Your declaration deserves rules that are unique and as intentional as you are. They should outline how you handle challenges, how you allocate your time, and what you're no longer willing to tolerate from yourself. Remember, we're getting into our own bullshit here. So what are you not willing to tolerate anymore in pursuit of your vision? In my experience, when you define rules of your own game, you no longer play by anyone else's. Makes sense, right? By setting these rules, you're declaring that you're in control of your path. And this is where true growth happens. These aren't just boundaries. They're the foundation that ensures that you remain unshakable in your commitment to personal mastery. When you create your own rules, you're setting a line that you're ready to defend with unwavering conviction. And this is what separates those who dabble in growth from those who own their evolution. Take a moment to define your own line in the sand. What are your non-negotiables that you're going to commit to? Write down 3 to 5 concrete, actionable rules that align with your highest vision. Are you willing to stand by these rules, regardless of what challenges arise? Because this line isn't a guideline, it's the standard that will govern every move you make going forward. Your rules are the boundaries that define your freedom. When you own your rules, you own your game. In Jump the Line, you made a bold declaration for yourself, a vision that only you can bring to life. But to truly embody that declaration, you need to define the rules by which you'll play your game. This is how you make your commitment tangible. Without your own rules, you risk slipping back into someone else's games, bound by standards that don't align to your vision. And in my experience, playing by someone else's rules is the fastest way to dilute your power. You have to craft a framework that's built around your values and your strengths and your vision. It's not just about reaching a goal, it's about how you get there. The rules you set for yourself become the foundation of how you'll navigate challenges, take risks, and grow beyond what you thought was possible. Think about the rules that govern your life right now. Are they yours or have you inherited them? Your declaration deserves its own set of rules that protect the integrity of your vision and ensure that you're playing to your strengths. These rules might include how you handle setbacks, how you prioritize your time, or how you decide what opportunities to pursue. They are not restriction. They are about empowerment. Your rules are the boundaries that define your freedom. When you're creating your rules, remember that these aren't meant to be vague aspirations. They're concrete, actionable principles that you'll commit to. What standards will you hold yourself to? So all the way back to episode 1, where are you going to continue to raise that bottom bar? How will you measure your progress? What's your commitment to resilience when things get tough? Make these rules as specific as possible because they're the foundation of how you'll move forward. By holding yourself to your own standards, you ensure that no matter what challenges come your way, you're playing a game that's rooted in your values. This is how you avoid settling for less and stay aligned with the person that you're becoming. As I wrap up this episode, I just want you to remember, you've drawn the line. Now it's time to cross it. Next time, we are going to dive into what it means to fully step over that line, to leave behind anything that doesn't serve your growth, and to fully embody the version of yourself that can't be swayed. This is where theory turns into action and where you prove that you're here to play all out. I'll see you in the next episode of Lead Between the Lines.